Okay, one of the biggest decisions you're going to make when you go international with yourself, your finances and everything is getting a second passport, and you want to get this perfectly right, 100%. And I see a lot of people, they end up not really putting the time in they really need to, or they skip a lot of trying to get professional help, and they end up making a bad decision that ends up costing them just a ton of money. I'm going to give you some things that you want to be looking for specifically when you're trying to pick a second passport. And also, folks, if you get a chance, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. Okay, now, the first thing I would do is if you're moving, a lot of people do this for tax reasons. If you're gonna be thinking about lowering your taxes, getting a second passport, the first thing I would do, is make a list of countries that have pure tax haven statuses or territorial tax systems. In other words, you don't want a country that's going to tax you based on citizenship or tax you on your worldwide income if you live in that country, okay? At least, most countries start hitting you on worldwide taxes if you live in the country at least 183 days a year, okay? Now, and don't fall into tax traps. I've been through this a lot, but people don't seem to listen to it. In other words, don't go with a country that tries to suck you in that country and then 10 years later start charging you ridiculously high taxes like Portugal. In Portugal, you're not going to live in tax-free even the first 10 years, even with a non-habitual tax regime. So you want to be looking at a program that you can literally live there, work from there, and either do your business outside, preferably, not pay any taxes inside the country too, but you're going to have to pick a pure tax haven status country to be able to do that, where you're not going to have any income taxes inside or outside the country, or very little, okay? Now, so again, any country that doesn't have a territorial tax system or pure tax haven status, just mark them off. The second thing you need to do is eliminate countries that tell you they're gonna, if you're doing this for not just the residency purposes, but you want to lead up to a second passport, don't pick countries that they're gonna make you relinquish your other passports, maybe that don't speak your language. Don't pick countries that have tax systems that are exorbitant. And also what I would do too is be trying to get a fast track program passport fast. I would get that and then go for a residency by investment as your third passport option if you're going to be keeping your first passport, okay? Now, the reason you don't want to go with a residency by investment, folks, there are only 2 countries I know of that are really, really dependable on a residency by investment, and they're both ridiculously high tax countries like Canada and the UK. Even the EB-5 with the US is unpredictable. It runs anywhere from 8 to 12 years to get the citizenship in the US. But most people I talk to are trying to get out of the US, not inside it, okay? So what you need to do is you need to pick a country where the citizenship is predictable. It's real predictable if you go with a citizenship by investment. If you go by residency by investment, most of the ones that have real good tax programs, territorial or either pure tax haven status, or either in the Caribbean or in Central or South America. The problem with those ones that if you go by residency by investment, it's very unpredictable. Panama they'll tell you can apply in 5 years. I'm going to tell you 10 to 15 years at least before you get that passport. Belize is the same way. You can apply after about 5 years. It's going to take you 10 to 15 years to get the passport. All these residency by investment programs are pretty bad. The only one that's fairly short that has a territorial tax system, sure, there's countries that you can get the passport pretty quick, like Argentina and Peru, but the problem is that they tax worldwide income if you live there, okay? And you're going to have to pay taxes leading up to the passport. So, that's the big gotcha that you got there. So how do you get around it? Well, number one, like I said, you pick a country that has a short time frame, that has a territorial tax system. One good one that I can tell you about that's real good is Dominican Republic. Okay, it doesn't take you long to get that passport. They say 2 years, count on 4 years. I can tell you, you're not going to get it in 2 years. And so, you're looking at, just take 4 years as a long out period is what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a residency by investment, that's a good program. It does not have good visa-free travel. It doesn't go to the Schengen countries. But the thing I like about the DR, if you're going to go that route, is you're going to be able to get the passport in a territorial tax system, and they don't require you to relinquish your other passports. And if you live in Canada, or you're coming from Canada or the U.S., it's real fast to get back. They have direct flights. It's a good option to choose from. Okay, inexpensive, but you're not going to have the visa-free travel that you're going to have in St. Kitts. You're not going to have the pure tax haven status where you don't have to pay any income taxes locally. Okay, now you can go without paying income taxes if you have a territorial system that you're using and your business is outside the country of the DR. Now you can do that, but if you got a business locally, then you're not going to want to have a DR. You don't want to be living in the DR. You want to live in a place like St. Kitts that has no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and you're looking at a pretty quick period. You're looking at 45 days to get your passport in St. Kitts. St. Kitts really is of course, it has more visa-free travel than any of the other countries in the Caribbean that are the fast track programs. So this is what you want to be looking for. So how do we go about choosing then? You mark off the countries, like I said, that have a territorial tax system. I mean, that has that taxes based on worldwide income, or a country that taxes based on citizenship. Okay. Then you pick only countries that have a territorial tax system or pure tax haven status. And I would prefer countries that allow dual citizenship, speak English. I would be picking countries that you can get the passport pretty quick, good visa-free travel, at least to the Schengen countries. If you can't get that, you need to have at least a second passport that's in a fast-track program like St. Kitts, and then take your time on the residency by investment program. If you don't do that, folks, you're going to be really pissed off with yourself, because it's going to take you forever to get that residency by investment program. It's just going to be really frustrating, and you're going to be really pushy trying to get people to get the passport in length of time and that you want, and you're not going to get it. These residency by investment programs, they just don't work like you think they're going to work. And the ones that, like I said, that have the best tax systems are the ones that are in Central South America and also in the Caribbean. Most of them are in Central America or the Caribbean. And you're just not going to get those quick. And some of them don't allow dual citizenship. Ecuador does. Countries like Belize do. You've got countries like Dominican Republic. It does. So there are countries like that do allow dual citizenship. Some of them that don't, as a large part, is like Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama. Now, Honduras and Nicaragua, somebody's going to shoot me an email saying, Tom, they do allow citizenship, dual citizenship. They actually don't, and they do, okay? They do allow dual citizenship with a few countries in Central America. I'm talking about Nicaragua and also Honduras. But most people have, their main passport maybe outside of Central America, so that's not going to really play in your hands very good. But I would be sticking with, I'll tell you other places that are really good for residency by investment. One of the two places that are some of the best in the world that I've told you about before is St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and also St. Kitts. St. Kitts has actually got a real good residency by investment program, one of the best in the world. The only disadvantage is it's going to take you 14 years before you can apply for the passport. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is going to be pretty close to the same thing. So, if you want a quick passport, you need to go by the citizenship by investment option. But these are things you need to look for. Things that you don't want, folks. You don't want to make this mistake, is don't start going with programs if you're trying to get around high taxes and sticking with countries like St. Lucia and Dominica and Grenada and places that have an internal tax. This is the key right here. If you go and you try to get a second passport, you need to have that second passport. If you look at the flag theory, it will tell you you should be getting a second passport in a country that has great tax laws. I'm talking about, when I say great tax laws, no taxes as far as income goes inside or outside the country, even if you have a local business. Okay. Now, you're not going to have that with Grenada. You're not going to have it with Dominica. You're not going to have it with St. Lucia. Okay. And let me tell you why you want this. This is where a lot of people get in a real problem, is they end up getting a citizenship. And I've mentioned this before. Some people just don't pick this up. They'll get citizenship in a country, maybe like in a country that they don't like the tax laws. Let's say it's Dominica. But they don't have plans of moving to Dominica. They're just getting it for the passport. Then they move to Panama, or they go to a place like Nicaragua, where they've got a lot of businesses that are actually, they're only available to citizens. And the thing is, you might not be involved with that particular business, but let's say you move to Panama, Nicaragua, one of these places, and you're there for 5 or 10 years, and the business that you were planning on doing there just is not working out. Now you've relinquished your U.S. citizenship or whatever, and you've only got that passport in that other country. It could be Dominica, it could be St. Lucia. Now you're in Panama, you can't run the business from there because you're not a citizen and you hadn't been there for 15 years to get the passport. So now you're forced to get that business really up and running where you avoid the tax. Okay, because some businesses in Panama, they won't even allow you to get in the business. Forget the taxation. They won't even let you do the business. For instance, retail, real estate, insurance. Man, I could go on and on and on. Sure, you can come there and set up a business in Panama if it's on the list of businesses that people that are not citizens can set up. And if you're not on that if you're trying to do something that's outside that list, fine. But if you're on that list, forget it. You're not going to set it up. So you're going to end up having to go back to that citizenship country where you got the passport in. And now, if you're finding out that now you're going to have to pay taxes locally because the business, you're getting some business income from that locally, you're stuck, man. There's no way you can get around high taxes. Now you're going to have to get another passport in a pure tax haven. Okay? These are things I see all the time. You need to have the insurance in place, folks. If you move back to that country that you weren't planning on moving to, that you got the citizenship in, now you can live and literally work in that country income tax free. This is the thing you need to be looking for. If you got any questions or comments on this, folks, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar. This is Apply With Us. Fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says Send It To Us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Folks, we got over 600 videos. This is where you learn all your stuff, all free. Also, if you got a question or comment, put it below, and I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.